Hi, my name is Michelle. I am a social media consultant and photographer, and I'm also a full-time flight attendant. And I'm making these videos because I've been through a lot in the past year trying to figure out my footing with this career, and I love it. And a lot of questions I get are kind of just questions about the job that I've never heard anyone ask. And it's usually from people that generally don't understand. But I figured these were perfect questions to put forth this video so that in case any of you are applying to become a flight attendant, you have a better grip on, your I guess ways to make decisions about stepping into the career. So the first thing I just want to clear really quickly is first myth about being a flight attendant is that you are essentially a waitress in the sky. That is 100% absolutely not true. This job is solely based on science, safety, and medical procedures. Okay? You will learn approximately 4 weeks to 7 weeks, maybe even 8 weeks, depending on what training you're at. You'll be away from home for 4 to 8 weeks. In the 4 to 8 weeks, and in my experience, because I did 2 trainings in the last 12 months, is that you're only going to learn about service maybe the most one day. You might get questions on a test that same week, but everything else that you're going to learn is about emergency equipment, the layout of the plane, what to do if, nothing to do with how do I make a screwdriver, how do I mix a Bloody Mary. None of that is going to be is going to be a pressing issue in your training. They will go over it. They will show video. They might give you a booklet to take with you, or some written material on how to present first class. That's really what they train you to do is first class. They don't teach you how to be a waitress in the sky. That's not what we do. And if you think that that is what we do, you have got to focus more on, learning a little bit more about the job before you take it, because these training programs are intense. It's not for the weak, and it's not for people who want to become a waitress in the sky. If you have server background or hospitality background, that will go far for you in this term, because it is a customer service driven job. You're dealing with customers. The passengers are customers. But the job is not being a waitress in the sky. Okay? So once you get past that and you're in training, probably the first week, they're going to talk to you about where you're being based at. And so the next myth that I have is that you can be based wherever there's an airport. That's not true. First of all, your airline has to have a base at that specific airport. Fortunate for me, I live in New York and I'm near 3 major airports, probably a fourth or a fifth one there. I'm near JFK, LaGuardia, and Newark. I like JFK, so I chose to be based at JFK. JFK has a lot of airlines, so if I were that type of person that wanted to move around, I could possibly apply to airlines that have bases in JFK, and that would, suit me. It wouldn't unruffle my feathers too much. But if you live in areas where it's a lot of regional airports, or your international airport is 5 hours away, you want to take into consideration of where you're applying to, because more than likely the airline that you apply to is they're looking to hire people for a specific base. In my first airline, they had 2 bases, and they were hiring for one base. I believe it was Chicago. I should remember that. So they were hiring for Chicago's base. Everybody that was in my class, I want to say 95% of them wanted to be in Dallas. That was something that they purposely didn't reveal in the interview, because they're based in Dallas, and a lot of people, I guess, picked up on their hiring and went for it. And all those people were disappointed the first week of school. They had to put in a transfer, and only because they were being lenient did they get those transfers. Most cases, you wouldn't hear of that. New students graduating from an airline, graduating from flight attendant school, and getting the base that they want. You usually will be sent to a specific base that they need flight attendants at. Okay, so in my case, in this company, I was fortunate to be hired for another company that had a base where I lived. And you have to research that. Ask questions at the interview. Um, Message that airline on Facebook or go on their website and just review where they have bases. You want to make sure that you know what you're getting yourself into, because it's not going to be worth your while to go through training for 4 to 8 to 7, whatever weeks, just to find out that, well, shit. I live in New Orleans and they're based in Tennessee, is not open anymore, and I just found this out because I wasn't asserting myself during the interview, and now I have to make a decision to either relocate, which is expensive and troublesome, or choose not to fly for this airline. And you don't want to find that out too late. Ask the questions up front. So once you get past that hurdle, you're gonna figure out that wherever you're based, do you need a place to live? Yes, you need a place to live. So in my case, I live where I'm based. I already have a place. If you are commuting, or if you're commuting, you will need to get a crash pad. And the reason why I put this myth in there is because someone asked me, how do I like living in hotels? I don't live in hotels. As a reserve flight attendant, you will not live in a hotel. As reserve, you don't even know what days you'll be flying. So you can't base your home life off of, well, I'm gonna be flying XYZ amount of days out of the month, because you don't know. And I just broke up with my boyfriend, so I don't really need to get another place because I'm a flight attendant and I can sleep in the crew room or use the hotels that they give me. No. You are going to need a crash pad, or you can do what a lot of girls and guys do, is they all come together, 5 or 6 of them, and say, oh, let's get a 3-bedroom apartment together. And that works. That's, to me, that's ideal if you're into the roommate thing and you can deal with that, and you got some great people as roommates. That will work, because with a crash pad, sometimes you can't leave your stuff around. I wouldn't want to leave my stuff around if I had like 20 other people cycling through this crash pad, because that's what happens. You have people cycling through, and things get missing, things get broken. You want to be able to say, okay, in my bedroom, even if you're sharing it with another classmate, you have a system of storage and she has a system of storage. And so even though you're both not there at the same time, your stuff is in a safe place because you have a lock on your room door, and you have like a system of storage where, it's all separate. And just get a place to live wherever you're based at. Okay, so the next myth is, excuse me, I'm nursing a cold here, that you get to fly for free anywhere and anytime. And so, yes, you will get to fly for free. Anytime? No. Anywhere? No. Just to cover the fees on flying is, most airlines, especially if you are like in mainline or wholly owned regional, you will get to fly for free usually throughout the US, the continental US. I'm not sure about territories. Like, Do we pay to go to Puerto Rico? I don't know. Do we pay to go to the U.S. Virgin Airlines? I don't know. But it's not so much paying to go. It's more so paying to come back. So this is where you have to say to yourself, one, make sure you study your non-rev guide that you can get on the plane and come back. And if you can't come back on the day that you designated, make sure that you have a little bit of pin money to get on like another airline that you have a jump seat agreement with. People I know travel all the time with their airline, so this is not to scare you. This is to make you aware that traveling anywhere and anytime is a myth. It's a complete myth. Likewise with buddy passes. Some airlines don't give buddy passes. I'm with a wholly owned and they don't give us buddy passes. My last regional wholly owned airline for a mainline did give unlimited buddy passes. But the thing about unlimited buddy passes is that you don't want to tell people that you have buddy passes. You don't want to do that because people tend to get overzealous. You have people coming out of the woodwork asking you for buddy passes. And again, buddy passes are not free in most cases because they don't want a buddy pass to go to Connecticut. They don't want a buddy pass to go to, they might want a buddy pass to go to Miami. Chances are they want a buddy pass to go to Cancun for the weekend. Chances are they want a buddy pass to go to Jamaica for the weekend. You will be charged a fee for them to come back. Do you really want to give this person that you don't know a buddy pass? Think about that. So don't go telling people that you have buddy passes because buddy passes are likely not free for everywhere. Some people don't get buddy passes like me. I don't get buddy passes. I only get like my proven family members can fly. And also it's like, it's not an anywhere, anytime. It's not like an open key to the, to any door. It's not like that at all. It has to be well thought out, well planned. Make sure that there's a space for you because you're essentially, you even are flying standby. Even if you're commuting, you're flying standby. So you have to make sure that you can get on that plane and come back and that you have the money out of your travel account, or if they take it out of your payroll or whatever, that you have the money to pay the fees to come back. There's ways to hack that, but I'm not going to talk about it in this video. But anyway, yes, that is a myth. And so kind of segueing into this next myth is the flight attendant lifestyle is a glamorous one. That is a complete myth. Okay? So when you're on the plane and you look great in your uniform and you're sashaying through the concourse in your high heels and your dress, and for the fellas looking dapper, especially with all these European cut uniforms looking all good and whatnot, you get on the plane, what's the first thing I do? Take my high heels off and put my flats on because I'm going to be working. And working means if somebody vomits on me, that I have to take it in stride, clean myself off, probably clean that person up a little, give them garbage bags, give them sick bags. These are just things that will happen as a flight attendant. You will get messy. Your uniform will rip because you're constantly bending, stretching, pulling, pushing. There's a reason why some of these job applications, they actually say must be able to lift, push, or pull 30 pounds, 40 pounds, even 50 pounds because, the cart that you're going to be serving out of is very heavy. And if you're like me that likes to work commuter jets on your own, you're going to be on your own. You're not going to have that other person push and pull or assist you. So just keep in mind that it is a very active job. You're not just, escorting people on and escorting people off. If someone gets sick, you have to roll your sleeves back and help them. If there's something in the bathroom that is unsettling to your guests, likely you will have to take care of it. They give you supplies, they give you gloves, they give you apron, but by all means, these are things that come up as flight attendants. Just keep that in mind. That's one of the reasons why they compensate us with travel, because it is so not a glamorous job. It's something that you want to do. Okay? So just keep all that in mind when you are applying to become a flight attendant. And the last thing I wanted to touch on is that as a flight attendant, your time is extremely restricted. False. Your time is restricted if you choose it to be restricted. And so I'll give you a for example. So it's Thanksgiving 2016 here in the States. I have not been on a plane in 7 days. Why? Because I'm on reserve and they didn't need to call me. So I've been working on personal things, making sure that I check my phone, I check in with them. Do you have any flying for me? Do you not? Um, I'm back on call tomorrow. I had Thanksgiving off and Black Friday off, but tomorrow I'm back on call. And so I anticipate that I'll probably fly this weekend, but at the same time, it might be slow, because I have no I have no restrictions on my time. Let's just call it that. And being a flight attendant means that you have more control over your time. And why I say that is because you can bid for your days off and you can bid for your days on. So most airlines have a set amount of days that you're off. And you could actually, even as a new flight attendant on reserve, you can bid for specific days off. If I have a client that I have to serve, I'm bidding for those days off and the days ahead and the days after off. And I get them every time. Um, when I had a 9 to 5 in an office, I worked Monday through Friday with weekends off. And on weekends, what did I do? I slept because I was too tired mentally to even do anything. As a flight attendant, I get 3 days off straight. Sometimes I get 4 days off straight. I can drop trips. Like next month, I'm taking 6 days off straight. This is not vacation either. I don't even think I'm entitled to like a long vacation yet. But I am allowed to shift and move my schedule. A lot of flight attendants work this job and work it like a business. So they may stack days, take a whole bunch off, restack them so that there's a lot of ways to hack your schedule. And I'm still learning because each company is different, but it's just like it's all one vacuum when you put a bid in for a date. And if your company has a bidding system, that's a plus. Because you can bid for your days off, bid for your days on, bid for your layovers. I want a layover in Charlotte so that I can see my god sister. So I'm going to bid for anything that has a layover in Charlotte for 24 hours or more, because then that gives me time to go to dinner with her. Those are things that you can do as a flight attendant. I didn't work. I have not worked. I'm still getting paid because I get a guarantee. But having this job gives me a little more personal space than having a 9 to 5 where you have some dude like breathing down your breath asking you for your next deadline. I don't have those issues anymore because um, 2 weeks ago, I was able to go on a hike with my mom in the local park. It's like a huge park out here. And it was a great fall day, middle of the day. We went to get smoothies after. These are all things that you can do with this job because you get a different quality of life. And just one more thing is that a lot of people who have children take this job because it will allow them to spend more daytime with their kids. Take them to school, pick them up, take them shopping, just be with them, and then they can do the night flights. You can bid to do night flights only. It's called continuous duty in my company. I'm sure they have them in other companies. But basically, you are allowed to um, prioritize your time. So the myth of having a more restrictive schedule is not true. In fact, I will say this: people who are flight attendants tend to have more of an edge on their time, and that's probably what you're seeing. You're probably seeing them being more mindful of their time, and that's just a part of the job. It's part of the personality of having this job, because we're trained that time is time waits for no man, and it's if you're not there by that certain minute on the dot, then you could potentially cause a delay and you could lose your job or get written up, and you don't want to get written up, right? So those are some myths that come with the job, things that I get asked all the time, things that I hear all the time. Basically, you can use this job to your advantage and just, I guess, examine all the things that are of importance to you. Do you want to stay home? I know people that purposely chose a base far away from their home. We had bases in Chicago. One young lady said, I live in Chicago. I don't want to be based in Chicago. Put me in Dallas. We have people that, again, are applying to a company that has no bases where they live. There are companies that have bases where they live, but they don't want that company for some unknown reason. It's all personal preference. It's all personal preference. You have to ask the right questions and just research. And so that will do it for this. This is the longest video. I hate doing long videos because I find them redundant to watch. But we're at mark 22 minutes. And I just want to say good night and have a great week. And thank you for watching.